If you run a cleaning business in 2026, Jobber is probably the first software anyone recommends to you. And honestly, for a lot of cleaning companies, that recommendation is right. Jobber is polished, it's easy to learn, and for residential cleaning, it does the basics really well. But there is a point where cleaning companies quietly outgrow Jobber, and it almost always happens the same way. So in this video, I'm going to walk through what Jobber does well, exactly where it stops fitting, and what a different approach looks like with something like Field Camp. So first, is Jobber good for cleaning businesses? Yes, and I want to be straight with you about that. If you're running a residential cleaning operation with a handful of cleaners, Jobber gives you quoting, invoicing, online booking, automatic payment collection, and a client hub where customers can see their visits. It syncs with QuickBooks, it sends reminders, and the mobile app is genuinely clean. For a 5-person maid service doing recurring home cleans, Jobber wins that use case. There's no argument from me. But here's the thing, the cleaning industry has two very different businesses inside it, and software that fits one usually breaks on the other. Residential cleaning is jobs on a calendar, commercial cleaning is crews against contracts, and Jobber was built for the first one. Let me give you a real example of the second one. I've talked to commercial cleaning companies rostering 60, 80, 100 cleaners across hotels, offices, and condo sites. Every site has a recurring contract. Every cleaner has skills, availability, and sites they can or can't work. And every week, someone, usually the ops manager, sits down on Sunday with a giant spreadsheet and manually builds the entire week's roster. Then they message every single cleaner their deployment, one by one, usually on WhatsApp. That's their whole Sunday, every Sunday. Now try to run that on Jobber. Jobber thinks in jobs and visits. You'll be dragging individual visits onto a calendar, one at a time, for 100 cleaners across dozens of sites. There is no skill-based assignment, so nothing stops you from putting a cleaner on a site they're not trained for. And Jobber doesn't do WhatsApp, which for a lot of cleaning crews is the only channel that actually gets read. So the roster still ends up living in a spreadsheet, and the software becomes the invoicing system sitting next to it. For crew rostering at commercial scale, Jobber loses this section, and it's not even close. So now let's talk about the different approach, because this is where Field Camp got interesting to me. Field Camp treats a recurring contract as a real record in the system. It's not just a repeating calendar event. So you set up the site, the schedule, and the crew requirements once. Then the AI agents build a weekly roster for you. They match cleaners to sites based on skills and availability. They send each cleaner their own deployment message on WhatsApp. Your ops person reviews the roster and confirms it instead of building it from scratch. That's the difference between spending Sunday making a spreadsheet and spending 10 minutes checking one. And for the cleaners in the field, FieldCamp keeps it simple. You can strip the mobile app down so a cleaner only sees their assigned visits, their checklist, and photo capture for proof of work. There's no quoting screens, no settings, nothing to get lost in. For running commercial cleaning crews in 2026, FieldCamp obviously wins this section. But let's talk about pricing, because the numbers actually tell the same story. Jobber's core plan starts at around $49 a month for one user, and every additional user is $29 a month. Pro is $199 a month, and the Plus plan, where the AI features and marketing tools live, is $1,499 a month for 5 users, with things like the AI receptionist as a paid add on top. Now do the math for a crew business. 40 cleaners on per seat pricing is over $1,000 a month before you've added anything, on software that still can't roster your week. FieldCamp's Pro plan is $249 a month for 3 users, growth is $699 a month for 10 users, and additional users are around $70. So for a small residential company, honestly, Jobber is cheaper and probably the right value pick. But for a commercial operation, you're comparing FieldCamp against per seat pricing plus the ops manager's entire Sunday every week. For value at crew scale, FieldCamp wins. For value at small residential value, Jobber wins. Both of those are true, and anyone who tells you one tool wins everything is selling you something. So here's my verdict. If you're a residential under 10 cleaners, mostly houses, stay on Jobber. It fits. But if you're running commercial contracts with crews and your real scheduling system is a spreadsheet plus 100 WhatsApp messages every Sunday night, you've already outgrown Jobber. You just haven't admitted it yet. For me personally, the test is very simple. Look at how your last week's roster actually got built. If a person built it cell by cell, Go to philcom.ai and look at how the rostering agents handle that exact workflow. Compare it against your Sunday. That comparison will make the decision for you. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.